Captain's Log. Very excited to be here to do this. Having fun. I apparently have a couple of loyal viewers. Stop it. Loyal viewers. Thank you very much for watching. It's a pleasure to keep you updated. It's kind of a weird thing. Nobody usually journals in video form unless there's like a competition going on, like Big Brother or like Survivor or something, and you do that little like confession section of the show. But I swear to God, I was just doing this for a video, for an audio record, and I was like, let me see if I can do it for a video. So I'm very grateful to the 2 fans or so that I've got. This is for you and my son, who I hope does get to see this. It'll be hard to ignore if he is crossing the YouTube pages. Anyway, he's 5. If he sees it, he sees it. If he doesn't, then they'll be here when he can see it. So anyway, Captain's Log. This is Captain Stanford of the Starship Monroe. Wherever we go, haven, hope, honor. You'll notice I'm wearing a rad MSU Denver Roadrunners a swag, just representing for the school. That is the college I attend, and I'm very happy to do so. What's happening is not much at the moment. Just tidied up more than just the platform. I tidied up the kitchen and such, and got the water going. Everything's fantastic. Water in the front and backyard. Anyway, platform 9 3/4 as well. I've been extremely satisfied with my tobacco. See if you can just see that. It's my tobacco center. That's my big ass rolling tray. Anyway, I roll my own cigarettes. It's much more health conscious, but it's more of a, and I mean health conscious in the sense of Marlboro and Camel are putting carcinogens in their cigarettes, and this way you get the tobacco in natural form. You can just roll it up and have your own cigarette. It's very popular in England to roll your own cigarettes, and other places in Europe. However, I found rolling cigarettes. I learned to roll while I was a homeless man, and the shelters would hold men who would roll their own cigarettes. And if you were craving a cigarette, sometimes you didn't have the usual carcinogen, canciferous, the usual cancer stick. Some of them rolled their own, and if you learned, you could have a cigarette. So I learned. I learned things very quickly, and it's hard to stump me if I'm training at something. Hopefully that's true for some of you as well. Mission progress. Mission 1, exercise, lose 60 pounds. I've been experiencing a terrible fate, where if I walk too much, I come home and my feet are bruised somehow. Like I have a case of plantar fasciitis, and it's in the foot that isn't hurting right now. Now the other foot is getting it, and I feel terrible about that. I really do. But one of the reasons I got pedals, the spin bike I've got, is to exercise in a way that doesn't let me get my feet bruised, or I don't know a better way to say, or a more accurate way to say that it doesn't hurt my feet to hop on the bike. It's much more stable, and I've been dealing with the seat, pedals the seat, and I think oddly, the solution is to put the original seat back on, but to fix its angle and tighten it. I think that's been working so far. I'm gonna experiment with that. Most of the latest sessions or expected exercises, workouts, have been just me fiddling with the seat, trying to get it correct, because it just hasn't been working. I mean, I've hopped on, but it's just been uncomfortable. So looking forward to, I think tomorrow will be the next time I'm on the bike. But that mission is going a little frustrating, to be honest with you, with the seat. Hopefully I've got the fix correct. Second mission. What are we watching tonight? I think it's Scarlett Johansson week. Because we're in July now, so that means I remember planning 3 actresses for the first 3 weeks of July. One is Scarlett Johansson, the second is Kate Winslet, and the third is Keira Knightley. So what film is tonight? I watch all my films right after the log, so let you know. And by the way, I don't presume to be important enough for my life to be important to others aside from myself, my family, and other loved ones. So I don't do this out of a sense of look at me, look at me. I'm doing this out of a sense of the log is already entertaining, I feel. And I think a wider audience is nothing to sneeze at. So enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, fine. It's not going to hurt my pride if you don't like my videos or what's going on in my life. But I'm not sharing it out of a sense of ego. I'm sharing it out of a sense of entertainment, really. I mean, I hope you have a good time. I mean, I hope you give a shit on some level, but you don't really have to. You don't really have to. But of course, since it's on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe, tell your friends. Otherwise, I don't get paid from the advertisers I don't have. There might be some in the future if this gets big enough. We'll see. 070124. Did I not mention the Earth date? 070124. Okay, it is Scarlett Johansson week, and the film is Match Point. I don't even remember the details. I couldn't play a trailer in my mind right now. Some of the films that I choose aren't films that I've seen before, and for me, that's an adventurous choice, an open choice. I pride myself on being an open person, an open human being, open-minded, etc., etc. Along those lines. Even my spiritual practice has openness as a core tenet. I'd like to talk more about that later, but it's not the time for that. I simply want to know. Give me at least an image of what we're looking at here. This is that tennis thing with it's a tennis film. Honestly, guys, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I like tennis. I like Scarlett. It's from her early days, and I think yes, I saw a trailer, and honestly, it was their the accent or whatever it is, whatever region they're playing the movie from, drew me in, and I thought, I'd like to watch that. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Of course, Scarlett Johansson, one of the prettiest actresses out there. All right. I found when looking up Scarlett that early on in her career, she was chosen for her beauty. Could not be a bigger compliment to her beauty that she was cast in these hot roles. You know what I mean? When I later on, of course, the other Boleyn girl is in here. Is in the list. Let's read the list out for you. Monday, Match Point. Tuesday, the other Boleyn girl. Wednesday, The Spirit. Didn't know she was in it. Whoa. Okay. Thursday, Hitchcock. And I was like, wait, because I have not forgiven Will Smith for slapping Chris Rock. There's no way he's coming back for me. I'm not watching the next Bad Boys film. I don't give a fuck. It was hard to watch the last Bad Boys film, Bad Boys for Life. I only saw it. I tried to watch it after the slap, and it was worthless to me. It was worthless. And you realize there's a lot of Will Smith in American film history. From the Fresh Prince to, that's not film, but still Fresh Prince, Independence Day, Men in Black, The Pursuit of Happiness, touching film too. And for his work, even his serious work, to be undone by an inability to control one's impulses on such a stage as the Academy Awards. Whether your wife is insulted, that's something you do in private. You can slap Chris Rock on your own time. Don't do it in front of the world. And for that, I think his conduct was unbecoming of a gentleman who knows the room, who has more control over himself, even if his wife was offended. Even if his wife was offended, to not handle that with a gentleman in a way that does not sacrifice his career, in a way that does not. He just acted too rashly, and it was the wrong time to slap him. I mean, if he didn't have to slap him in the first place. Of course, you don't have to slap the guy if that's not how you feel. But apparently, he felt like slapping Chris Rock, and if you're gonna do that, don't do it on the Academy stage. It's the wrong place to do that. I mean, God, and there's plenty of ways to. Let's get back on track here. I thought Hitchcock meant the Hitchcock that Will Smith was in, which I think is a terrible fucking movie. But no, this movie, which can be found on Hulu, is about the Alfred Hitchcock movie Psycho, and Scarlett Johansson plays the female lead in Psycho, and the movie's about the filming pretty much of that movie and how they got there, and I totally, as a writer, as a fiction writer too, I truly dig, and I took a screenwriting class at MSU with a great professor. She always knows what she's talking about. But I don't know whether or not to attach her to this particular format. But anyway, from a screenwriting standpoint, from a fiction writer standpoint, Alfred Hitchcock is a huge figure in our history, as those of us who participate in this work. And it's an honor for me to take a look at that. Even if the window is Scarlett Johansson, and even if she's in a supporting role, she's in a supporting role in Spirit as well. So you could even say she's a supporting role in Berlin Girl, but come on, that's Scarlett's movie. I forget who the other girl is, the other actress. Let's skip past that before I get dramatic about actresses, which I totally could. I should, but I'm not. Friday with The Jungle Book. I didn't know she was in that, but she voices a character in The Jungle Book, the live action version, on Disney Plus, and then Under the Skin on the HBO Max app, and then Isle of Dogs, which is a Disney movie that's she plays a voice in that as well. I think that's going to be the highlight of the week, honestly, is that family film running in there. And by the way, I'm a huge Disney geek, and I don't mean like teen television shows, the teen series that shit. No, I mean, I typically discover great Disney actors and actresses after their time at Disney, like Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera. I'm a millennial, but grew up in the 90s. Christina Aguilera, Britney, Justin, Christina, Selena Gomez. Who else? It's about the top of the list for me. But as far as Disney's concerned, my favorite Disney film is Hercules. I'm that kid that wants to know his place and wishes he had a father like Zeus, who would show him his place and grant him a place amongst a rightful place amongst the gods, let's say. And all he has to do is be a hero. Like, that's every little boy. At least it should be every little boy who craves the strength to be a hero, and wants to prove that to a father figure. Anyway, I didn't have my father growing up, and if I ever met him, I'd be like, "Where have you been?" But let's do this. Let's at least have a relationship. I love you. I miss you. I've always been loyal to you. So I wish my father was there when I had girl trouble. It's one of the main reasons I needed my father. Anyway, That's Scarlett Johansson week. Let's get back to the log. God, that was a huge digression. Milestones. It's July. Shut up. It's July. Couple things about July. The end of my summer semester will happen. August is already approaching. Apparently, fall semester starts around the 18th, or I think, yeah, the 18th of August. We'll see how that goes. More milestones. I think that's it for that today. I can't think of anything else. External challenges. My feet. That's not an inner challenge, because I consider an inner challenge more of an emotional, like how you dealing, like like something more core, something more like a dilemma, like a choice between two bad options or something. Is more of an inner thing. I think an external challenge is definitely how I traverse the road, like a physical. It's the extremities. I would, if my hands got fucked up, that'd be an external challenge as well. But I either need the right shoes, which is what my doctor said, because they wouldn't fix the problem. They told me to get some boots, hiking boots, actually. I have no hiking boots currently. I do have boots, but not hiking boots. So I've had them before, by the way, and they did not work well. Still looking for the right shoe, I guess. I would like to get a second opinion on that at some point, but I'm pretty sure the problem can be fixed. Like, it's medicine. Anyway, today's inner demon. Nothing. I've been without demons today. It's a good fucking day. Future healthy coping mechanisms. Keep reading. I'm reading like crazy right now. This is a treasure. I'm not at this book yet. I'm actually still reading The Martian by Andy Weir. But this guy writes about writes as an astronaut well, and gets into the weeds of the numbers, gets into the calculations. This guy will track himself on Mars, or a rocket. It looks like. I've read a bit of the first chapter. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this book just yet, but this is the book a guy was reading while I was at work, and it was an event. I used to be an event security supervisor, and this guy was sitting there reading this book. It was the hardcover version, and he wouldn't look up from it. And I was walking around, kind of doing a round, but I asked him what he was reading, and he explained. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said it was something gripping, something of the gripping style. So I waited. I waited for my chance, and I remembered the author's name before. No, it went because I knew there was a film attached. I started reading The Martian first. I haven't seen the film, but I have The Martian in ebook format purchased in Kindle. I've got it on Kindle anyway, and I love it as an academic. I love that book. Really feeds my geek side, and I love that. I even checked out a book that would help educate me on my mathematical weaknesses as well, called The Big Bang of Numbers. It was kind of a thought experiment based on the basics of numbers, from integers to geometry and physics and beyond. I haven't gotten to the physics portion of the book yet, but I think that's one that I checked out from the library as well. But I would love to purchase that book too. Either way, I'm a lifelong student, and I want to be better at my mind. So I hope you share that that sort of feeling as well, that sort of intention. How's the captain? I'm good. I'm good. A few physical ailments, not just the feet right now. But other than that, I am well, and that's where I want to be. I'm I'm thinking, I'm planning, I'm writing. I am myself when I'm writing. When I'm not myself, I'm experiencing the symptoms of delusion, and I have schizoaffective disorder, which means I'm prone to delusion, confusion, not knowing. It's not that I wouldn't know what's correct or what's right or what the truth was. It's that I wouldn't know where the source of of a speaker was. Auditory hallucinations are my enemy. Um, have you ever tripped on mushrooms or anything like um, LSD, DMT? Have you ever had a bad marijuana trip? You know, like it's like that, except you don't see stuff, you hear stuff, and you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know if it's coming from outside the building and they have access to your window. You don't know if it's coming from the room next to you. When I was at my studio apartment, I always thought it was my next door neighbors. Curiously, one neighbor was, it was her. It was actually her. She was um, trying to knock me off my balance somehow. But I only knew that because the neighbor on the other side never said a word. And I know what the other neighbor sounds like. I tried to get her to stop, but she simply had no impulse to. She was a stoner, and she was kind of crazy too. She was actually evil. I found that out after sleeping with her. Anyway, um, it is what it is, my friends. It is what it is. But on a usual occasion, in a typical auditory hallucination, the voice is either weak, where you can't hear it, or it's strong, loud, offensive, abrasive, and persecutorial. That's what I have to deal with if I don't take my medicine. Um, Luckily, I do take my medicine. The difference between a functioning and malfunctioning mental health patient is their attitude towards the doctors and the drugs, doctors and the medication. Um, my attitude is, I need to be better. I don't need the voices. I need sanity. I need clarity. Clarity is my wife. You know what I mean? Clarity is my my companion. It is what I seek. It is the end of my madness. And I seek that through learning, through writing, and when I'm clear-headed, I am writing something. I am eager to write something. My ideas are forming, and I brainstorm, and I'm awake, lucid. I'm involved, engaged, wanting to share. Kind of like this video. Anyway, best event of the day. Best event of the day was when I got to Tivoli on campus and simply grabbed some ramen. I had been craving ramen because while HOH is gone, of course, there's less food in the house, and I haven't gotten paid yet. So there is little food in the house, and I just wanted some fucking ramen, you know what I mean? And some coffee, which is like technically free there if you're a student. Yeah, thank God for Rowdy's Corner. Love that place. Always great people. Always great. My fellow students who run Rowdy's Corner are some of the best people you'll ever find. And very friendly, very eager to help the food scarcity problem drop. And anyway, today's favorite person / character is Scarlett Johansson. I am so excited for Scarlett Johansson week. Everyone who loves Scarlett Johansson should do this, not just dudes. Not just, not just the girly lesbian who wants her hair to look like Scarlett Johansson, or the transgender male to female who wants lips like Scarlett Johansson, or the straight woman who dyed her hair blonde because it looked so great on Scarlett Johansson. For for the guy who loves the way she speaks, because her voice has a certain timbre that is hard to match. I mean, she was tapped for Lucy, not Lucy, for Her, the movie with Joaquin Phoenix. And by the way, there's still a fucking. She's trying to sue whatever AI that was. I think it was ChatGPT. Who's trying to. By the way, if you want AI, go with Google Gemini, because the intelligence is better from Google Gemini, and you have the name of, and you have the brand Google, who's one of the best companies on the planet, putting Gemini light years ahead of ChatGPT. Whatever Elon Musk and his dumbass friends are doing with ChatGPT, I don't care. But they're trying to use Scarlett's voice because the voice of Scarlett was used in the movie, and Scarlett wants to sue them because they actually did without her permission. So I wish her luck in that case. You got this, Scarlett. But with that said, I love you, Johnny. Stanford out.